Good morning, friends. We are at the end of topic 12, and here is the assessment, which is essentially your study guide for this chapter. Make sure you take it home tonight and study it. I'm actually going to do all 6 of the pages, 753, 754, 755, 756, 757, 758. So if you want to go through with me on all these pages and follow along, great. Much of this is just applying what you know about metric measurements and standard measurements of inches, feet, yards, and centimeters and meters to some questions. So number 1, it says estimate about how tall is the flower. Is it 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, 1 meter? This flower on this page. So how you can estimate is that this centimeter here is right here. It's about the button. So if you do some of these buttons and estimate it, it gives you an idea. It says draw a line from each estimate to a matching object, 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 yard. Inch, foot, yard. Draw a line across. Which units would you need the fewest of to measure the height of a fence? The fewest. So you need the fewest. So think about which one's the biggest. Then down here it says Dan measures the width of the window with a yardstick. He says it measures 3. Is this answer precise? Precise means detailed. Detailed and accurate. Well, 3 what? So yes or no, is it precise? Yes, it's precise, or no, it's precise because. Explain means because. It's a key word right there, friends. Yes, because, no, because. Flip it over. It says use a ruler to measure each line of the nearest centimeter. So go get yourself a centimeter ruler and measure these. Make sure you start at the 0. And it says which are about 3 centimeters long. I'd say no. This one's closer to 4. So the first one's a no. And then measure the rest of them. So this one right here, yeah, that's about right. It's about 3, absolutely. And then measure the last 2. Use a ruler to measure the length of the pencil in inches. Okay, in inches. Got to measure it. Grab an inch ruler, start at the 0. Measure it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Circle the unit. You need fewer. Fewer means less. Less to measure the length of a kitchen. So you're going the length of a kitchen. Your kitchen, your house. Fewer centimeters or fewer meters. And the circle the unit you need fewer of, less of to measure the length of a table. The length of a table, fewer feet or fewer yards. Again, when it says fewer, you're going to pick which one's bigger. Which one's the bigger measurement. Up here it says, down here it says use a ruler to measure each path. So you're going to measure from here to here and write a number, and from here to here and write a number and add them together. And you're going to measure from here to here, and then turn your paper and measure from here to here. So you have 2 numbers to measure and add them together. So which one's longer, A or B, and then how much longer? How much longer means you're going to subtract the bigger minus the smaller. What's the difference? How much longer is subtraction? That's kicks here in the first 2 pages. Next page, number 9. If you need to pause at any point just to answer questions, go ahead. Use a ruler to measure the length of the marker to the nearest centimeters. Make sure you're in centimeters, not inches. That'll change the dynamics there. Find the centimeters. Start at the 0. Number 10, a path has 2 parts. The total length of the path is 15 centimeters. One part of the path is 9. So we know that the total is 15. And one part is 9. How long is the other part? Question mark. I don't know. So we need something plus 9 equals 15. It's got 2 parts. The total length is 16 centimeters, right? Total, that's the total. One part is 9 centimeters. Use a ruler, measure each path to the nearest centimeter. So measure from here to here and here to here. We'll do the first one with you, and you can figure out the answers for the rest of it. So the first one's 6 centimeters. And I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to measure this, and I'm going to measure that as about 2 centimeters. So if path A is 8 centimeters, you got to measure path B. Because you can't just measure from here to here. You got to measure each piece. You got to measure this piece to here and this piece to here. And it says which one's longer. Is it A longer or B longer? And how much longer? It means you're going to take the bigger minus the smaller and subtract them. Now at the bottom, number 12, measure the gray line with tools you need to be precise. Measure all the choose all the measurements that are precise. So the first thing, it says a couple ways you could do this. You could go get a piece of string for me. We'll cut it off, and then you can line it up and then stretch it out and measure it. Or you could just measure from here to here, all the way across in inches and centimeters. That's what I would do. And then figure out which ones are precise. Well, first off, it says which ones that are precise. So you know this one's not right, precise. It just says 10. It says 10. And then take a look at which other answers for 12 actually measure. I would measure, my suggestion is to measure it with centimeters and inches, because you have answers down here that possible solutions that have both. On the back, 756. Juan uses different measurements to compare the jump rope, compare the measurements. Well, it says choose yes or no, more inches and feet. So what I would do is this. 9 centimeters. It's about 3.5 inches. Okay. So here it's going to ask you to compare them. Does it have more inches than feet? Or, which means that if you're measuring this in inches and you're measuring in feet, is there more inches? Yes or no? Fewer inches than feet. So it's the same one. You just got to figure out which one's right and which one's wrong. More centimeters than meters or fewer centimeters than meters? So again, this is what you know about centimeters and meters more than anything else. Kendra measures her crayon to the nearest centimeter. What is the length of her crayon to the nearest centimeter? Well, which one's near? It's more near. It's closer to near. More nearer. Come on. Is it closer to 4 or the 5? Write it down. Kim's softball bat is 1 yard long. She uses 3 bats to measure the length of the classroom whiteboard. How long is the whiteboard? So her softball bat, the bat, right? So she has 1 bat, 2 bats, 3 bats long. And each one of them is 1 yard. Draw a picture over here, friends. That helps you answer it. Now, how long is the board? Kevin measured the length of a car in inches and feet. Why is the number of feet less than the number of inches? Explain why. I would say something along the lines of 12 inches equals how many feet? And that, my friends, is the first 2. Last but not least, 757. Performance assessment. The Torres family loves to hike. They use this map to plan their hiking trip. Use a centimeter rule and find the total length of the triangle. So you got to measure from here to here, here to here, and here to here. And then explain how you found it. Well, I measured from the start to the tower to the bridge, and the bridge to back to the start. That's how you explain how you found the measurements. You got total centimeters, add all 3 of those lengths up. Debbie Torres uses a backpack for hiking. She wants to measure its length. She wants to be precise. She should use inches, feet, or yards. You have to pick one of those 3. And you can measure it on here with a tool. Explain your answer, which one you would use. You can even measure it if you want. I would use inches. I would use feet. I would use yards because Daniel Torres estimates the length of his water bottle. The height of his water bottle is his estimate reasonable, about 20 meters. Yes or no? Yes, it's reasonable because, or no, it's reasonable because it's. Remember, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter stick. Maria Torres says it would take more yards than feet to measure the height of the tower. Do you agree? Yes or no? Explain why. More yards than feet. Yes or no? And explain because. On the hike, the Torres family sees a caterpillar. Use the picture below to answer the questions. To be precise, which unit would you choose to measure the length of the caterpillar? Would you use inches, feet, yards, centimeters, meters? Pick one. Estimate and then measure the length of the caterpillar. Estimate it, guess it, and then measure it. I don't care if you use inches or centimeters or feet or yards or meters. You decide and then measure it and then explain how you measure. I would say something along the lines of I started at the head and I stopped at the tail. I lined up my ruler. Those are good descriptive words. So friends, that is your topic 12, performance assessment and regular assessment. Turn it in when you get done. If you have a question, come see me. Make sure you take it home to study.